Sorry about that, guys. I got a little bit too much going on all at once. So what I was saying before OBS crashed is I was wanting the platform to move down just a little bit more. Otherwise, I don't think that Mr. Mario will be able to make that jump. Okay. Just a bit. And another thing I noticed is I think I want to move Mario to this other instance as well. I think. Because right now I don't know if it's going to look right. We'll have to see. Let's grab him. Let's see. No, that's fine. That's actually fine. Okay. So let's look at the platform again. Okay. Seems fine. Okay. Probably want to change what Mr. Donkey Kong is doing. Because in this one, he just sort of stands and beats his chest. So let's actually take a look at that. So in this one, we don't want this specific sprite for him. So I guess what we can do is we can call this, this current one we already had is Sprite DK1. And this next one will be Sprite DK2. And then we can go in and grab this from one of our sprite sheets. I think it's just this one. Yeah, it looks like he just stands still and then beats his chest a couple of times. But luckily, I think what I can do is I can just copy this other DK one I had. And change it somewhat. So for this one, what I can do, since this is going to be my level 2 one, is Sprite DK2. And I'll delete the first one and the last one, I mean, and move this one to the front. And this plays really slowly, it seems. A little bit faster than that. And a little trick I do sometimes is if I want it to hang on, like for instance, his static position a little bit longer, is I'll just put a couple more frames in it. Then he'll go back to it. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go to the restroom. Alright, thanks for your patience there. Where were we? What was I doing? Oh yeah. So I was making my my Donkey Kong for the second room. So what we can do here, let's think about this. We want to use the same object just to keep things simple. So what we can do, pretty sure, okay. So let's think about this, and moreover, if this is the best place to put it. Because what we're wanting to do is make it so if we're in the first room, he's throwing barrels. And if we're in the second room, he's doing, you know, whatever grandstanding he's doing. And also, I guess, in the third room, I don't think he's doing anything different in the third room. Yeah, he does the same thing, it looks like, in the second and third rooms. It does look like he had one extra little chest thump here, just from looking at it. Oops, I was out of order. There we go. Okay. So let's think about this and see how it works. be the best way to do this? May not want to use the get current room. We can try it. We can just put this into a variable called current room. Current variable, whoops. And this should actually, now that I think about it, this should be in a step event. Because if it's in the create event, it's only going to happen once. We want this to be checking constantly, right? And for Donkey Kong here, we can say, we can get our little if statement going here. We can say, if current room is equal to, we'll say if it's equal to RM level 1, then we want for his sprite to be the first one, because that's the one that throws the barrels, right? But other than that, if that object exists, every other time we've seen him, it's going to be the other one. So we'll just put an else statement here and say otherwise we want your sprite to be SPR DK2. Okay. So let's test this. We'll put our room level 1 up there, and then let's just jump in and look and see what happens. Current room not set before reading it. Okay, so I got an error here, and that's because what I tried to do is I tried to pull a value into a variable that I hadn't declared yet. So what that means, first off, is I have to say what current room is. So I'm going to just say I don't think it'll break anything for me to say if the current room starts off at 0. It might. Might have to change it to something else. We'll try it. Okay, so yeah, I need to edit the original one. The original sprite, I mean. So for this one, he doesn't need that part of the animation or that. And generally speaking, it looks like he hangs on this for just a second before he releases a barrel. So let's jump back in that. Not bad. Not bad at all. So now let's look at the next room and see if our code is working the way we want it to. So you see here, he's got an entirely different sprite than he had before. Cool. Okay. So let's get our last room made. This will require us to make another sprite. But I'm just going to go ahead and... actually, it's going to require two entirely different sprites. It's going to require a different ladder and a blue platform to stand on. So we can make that pretty easily. So SPR platform blue. Oops, don't want that. And this is pretty much just some straight blue lines. So we have some straight blue lines. Maybe slightly different from just blue. Looks like there's some of this color in it, maybe. Yeah. So got some of that. I'll put one more line of blue. Actually, now that I look at this, probably the best way for me to do this would be just draw a big blue blob. About like that. And then I can go in and put some black circles. Or just one big black circle, really. We'll just have to see what this looks like. Alright, so we have a blue platform. And we also need, what is it, this, I can delete this object platform now, since I don't need it. Drop bridge. So that's what it looks like. It's kind of tiny, but this one will be pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there are 8 of these that you have to either step on or jump over to make the final platforms collapse and beat the game. These look pretty basic. Just look like let's say it's orange. It's kind of orange looking. think making it 16 is about right. I'd actually just have to resize the whole canvas to be this. Just with the way it seems to be spaced. And it's got a little bit of green at the top, just a bit. Oops. Looks something like that. Okay. So the way that this one is set up, I need to change that room size. I'm getting a little big there. 56 by 240. Okay, let's get focus on this. Okay, so there's that. We'll have one more layer. See, I forgot I want to make one more special ladder. Let's call it ladder yellow. I'll call this one ladder white. And again, I should have just duplicated that. Let's delete that. Ladder yellow. And we'll just fill this in. It's not really yellow, I guess it's sort of orangey yellow. Okay. Object. Ladder yellow. Oops. Okay. So let's go to the room and get these things in there. Close out some of these sprites. Okay. You know, why not? We can have some more of the red platforms in here. I don't see why not. We have some more red platforms. Have our little princess standing up here. Grab old DK, have him up here. And it looks like his sprite is off, but that's just because that's what I have it set as. Once it actually runs, it won't look that way. So now what I need to do is get some of these I gotta fix these platforms. That's hideous. I hate to say it, but there is a limit. And if you can fix it, may as well fix it. That's a little better. Just a little. I'm just gonna stretch this ladder out a little bit. I'm gonna have to turn off snapping, but this will oh, no, actually I don't want to turn off snapping. That would make it kind of ugly. Wouldn't work as I expect it to. Let's see. So I guess this needs to be even smaller now that I think about it. Might be small enough. These little ladders. What is the best way to do this? We can do it this way. And what we can do is we can make it like trigger buttons. So instead of having Mario be able to get all the way up here, shoot. What'll happen is we can put some code here that says there's a few different things we could do. I'm just thinking that it would be neat to have it where if Mario is able to, if he's able to destroy each of these little things, I may as well make this a lot smaller too. They don't need to be that big. So they'll just be like triggers, basically. So I can edit that. Yeah, they'll just be like neat little triggers. Yeah. So these are going to be really, really tiny. But they'll be placed at the top of the platform. I'll round them off just a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh. Okay, and I think I also want to... I'm fine with that, honestly. So we'll just make it so if Mario is able to successfully trigger these 4 little bridge droppers. Here I'm going to make it's the XScale, that's what it is. I'm going to try making this -1, with the goal being to have Mario be looking the other way when the room is created. Alright, let's go ahead and run this room and see what it looks like. So you can see how Mario is facing the other way, right? Cool. Now the interesting thing though is he's facing the other way, but why did he move over an entire position? You see what I'm saying? He's not supposed to be on the ladder, right? It's something about that image X scale. There's something I'm forgetting, but that's fine. That's fine for now. So in this room, we do need to have. We can put the purse, the umbrella, a hammer, and a couple of little flame enemies. Okay. They're fine up there. That'll be fine. Yeah, these are just going to trigger. And you know, it might actually be cool. This actually would be pretty cool. Let's go back into the sprite and make the second frame be a red button. Or they could start off as red. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it where these little guys start off as red. And then when Mario touches them, right, they light up to green. And if all of these end up being green, then that will cause it'll cause just DK's platform to fall. Sort of want to give her a little umbrella. Feel bad. Oh well. So let's think about what we've got here. We've got title screen. We have a title screen where when it loads up, you push enter to start, and then that will take you to room level 1. Let's confirm that by looking at our title screen object. You press enter to go to room level 1. Let's make sure that still matches. Yeah, our room level 1, good. Then in room level 1, we've got all the basic things. One thing that's currently happening that we don't want to happen is all the animations are happening just forever as soon as you go into the room. Don't really want that to be happening. So what we'll have to come back and do, I'll just put this in a little note file here. So title screen done. One reason I always do a title screen, just get to have something to check off the list. In room level 1, we need to make it so animations are stopped at the beginning. We need to these are really the big ones. We need to code Mario's movement and animation changes. And those are big ones. Very big ones. So for now, let's see what it looks like if we do just some very basic movement for Mario, right? We can just say, if you're holding down D, then your speed is going to be 4. In that direction. Okay? We'll do the same thing for A. Just changing the direction. And another thing we'll add in is if the key is up. In other words, if D is up, and then we'll say if A is up. And again, this is extremely basic that I'm doing just as a complete test. What I'm going to do after I test this is I'm going to go into another one of my projects where I have some pretty fluid transitions in animation and movement already working for both jumping, falling, what have you. And that'll help me make sure I'm on the right track with putting this together. Okay. So let's push play and see if anything is breaking. So we're in our little arcade room, alright. So Mario can move, right? But you notice he doesn't turn around. Nothing really hurts him. No barrels are coming, etc. So I'm going to save this project, and I'm going to pull up a little demo for Rainbow Islands that I worked on a few days ago. And we're going to look at Bubby, he's the main character in Rainbow Islands, and see how his movement is being handled. Okay. And we can get some good notes from here. So for Bubby, you can see that we are actually using some code here. And in the step event, we're using some even more elaborate code that's designed to make sure anytime the character runs into something, it happens as expected. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab the creation code, and I'm just going to keep it in another notepad. And I'm going to grab the step code. And save that as well. Because all this should be pretty much what I want for Mario. Aside from some of the variables might be a little bit too much jumping. Alright, so yeah, so if the key is down, yeah. If either of the keys are down, A or D, then animation speed is 1. That makes sense. And if either of the keys come up, then we want to set the image index back to 1 and the animation speed to 0. Okay. Key up, then animation speed 0, image index is 1. Image XScale. Cool. Okay, so let's look in here, and I think that's all we need as far as jumping around goes. Just jumping through these real quick to make sure this is what I want. Okay. Let's jump back into DK here. Now the tricky part for Mario here will be animating, and I guess not so much animating, but properly accounting for the gravity effect which the barrels seem to have, as well as the way he climbs up ladders. I just have to think about how that would best be implemented. So let's go back to Mario here, and I'm going to say we don't want the movement handled by the keydowns. We just want the keydowns to handle our animation. Okay. So if key down is A, then animation speed is 1. If key down is D, animation speed is 1. And then if either of these keys are up, then we want the animation speed to be 0 and to reset the image index back to 1. And this will simply stop him from doing his little 8-bit dancing until we move him. Image index of 1. And in GameMaker Studio, you can copy things like this very easily. It only gets tricky in drag and drop mode when you try to copy full events. Okay, so now we need to go into the create event for Mario, and this is where we're going to put in the code, which we'll have to troubleshoot somewhat, because it's going to be slightly different in this game. And let's see, set Mario physics parameters. Then we'll go into the step event. And we'll have to make some changes to this one. But for now, it'll be fine to just go ahead and paste this in. Okay, so we're in the step event here, and this is where we're putting all of the movement commands. So that every frame of the game, it's going to be looking to see if you're pushing D, A, if you're pushing spacebar to jump, if you're running into anything, if you are facing left, if you're facing right, if you're falling, if you're jumping, I guess if you're dying. Okay, we could probably put that in here too. But for now, we just need to look and make just a few revisions here. So currently, I have object ground in here as the main parameter. So the easiest way to not have to make any serious revisions, especially given the fact that we're using multiple platforms, is to just create an object called object ground. And the reason we're going to do this is we're going to make this object ground be a solid object. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to troubleshoot this, but I'm pretty sure we want it to be a solid object, and we want it to be the parent of both platform red. Oh, I'm doing it backwards. Here we go. We want that object ground to be, the parent of platform blue and platform red. So the parent for this one will be, where'd it go? Object ground. Okay. And same thing for this one. All right. So now let's go back to Mario. I'll have to remember to remove that restart current room. So we've got object ground having a value now. That's good. Mario will probably be jumping a little bit too high. I'm going to change this to rotates Mario left or right, depending. And let's see. you're not moving vertically or horizontally. This should just be SPR Mario, right? I mean, that makes sense to me. And I think we're going to not factor in falling for Mario here. We do want jumping though. So let's go ahead and put together the Mario Jump sprite. Oops. SPR Mario Jump. Okay, so we're going to edit the image. And let's import that Mario Jump. I want to say it's just one. Looks like it. Seems good. This might look a little strange. Just want to make sure I have him at the right. So he starts at 1231. Let's see if that makes sense. He starts at 1231. That's probably right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So let's go back in old Object Mario here. Let's look at this. So let's change this to SPR Mario Jump. And this should just be SPR Mario. That should be fine. Okay. So we don't have the ladders factored in, but Mario should be doing something. He's probably going to be jumping like he's in NBA, but let's see what this looks like. Okay, Mr. Mario. So you can see right now with the way the variables are tuned, he has absolute super speed, and I'm pretty sure if I push spacebar, he'll jump off the screen. Or, okay. So we need to go back into his creation event, and we need to slow this little dude down, because he's extremely fast. So let's try changing this to something like 4, and we'll put his jump speed to 4 as well, just to see what this ends up looking like. Alright, Mario. Okay. So one thing that looks a little screwy here, and I think this has to do with the what is it? The image. Yeah, the image XScale. This is what is being a little tricky here, because it's trying to rotate him a full -1, when really I don't think he needs to move that far because our resolution is so low. So what I'm thinking I can do, this might be crazy, Maybe. I think I'm gonna try it though. I don't even know if XScale can be a non-integer value. Point 1. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's not what I want. It's close, but it's not quite what I want. That's funny. Very close. This could be because of where I have his collision mask. So let's look and see. So right now it's on top left. Let's try putting it in the middle center. I'm thinking if it's in the middle center, then he won't get turned into a toothpick like that. Hopefully. It's hard to say. You never know. Let's see. Yeah. So that's not gonna work. That's moving him way up. That's moving him up into the platforms. We don't want that. So what if we have it in the... I'm kind of afraid to put it in the top center either. Just because of where he will end up. Let's see. I put him in the top center, save it. I do think it needs to be in the center though, because the way that image variable works is it tries to pretty much cut the sprite in half and turn him around. Perfect. So that has him working as I expected. Now his jump is still a little bit off the charts. And he's kind of jumping. He's kind of jumping to the side a little bit. So I think that's another instance of me needing to change that collision mask. Because he keeps trying to jump to the top left. You can see right there. So let's change that. And it might even be too high for top center, but I don't think so. I think that would actually help him grab some of the hammers. And it sort of mimics, you know, the whole where he jumps up and... When I was little, I thought he was just hitting his head on the blocks. It's only much later when I finally had a decent television that you could actually differentiate the pixels. I realized there was a punch going on. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Let's look here. So now he's running correctly. Yep. And his jump looks pretty good. My only concern is that the gravity might actually be a little too high. I don't think he can actually clear a block in this room. Probably not. I'm gonna go ahead and make this oil drum not animate either. It doesn't need to do anything unless something acts upon it. So let's mess with some gravity. kind of afraid to enable physics in this room. Sorry, I forgot to change that back. Let's try enabling physics and see what happens here. So, okay. What if I just make him smaller? Or maybe it's the fact that it's so high up. Let's see what that looks like. I feel like that might break something, but... I think, okay, actually it might be the collision masks of these platforms. So let's take a look at our platform. Maybe not. What if I make this manual and just take away, like let him, you know, sort of slightly come up into it. We can see what happens with that. I think this is all on Mr. Mario here. He's just colliding into people. Could be where I didn't set a sprite. Maybe I need to make this have a sprite. Let's see what that looks like. Let's turn off gravity again. Or physics, I mean. Huh. How did my whole game room get shifted over like that? Oh. Because I'm messing with the collision masks. That's why. It's dangerous. A dangerous game to play. Alright. Forgive me, game. That's weird. How'd he get up there? That's because I put his collision mask at bottom center. These things really do have an impact, for sure. So what if I just shrink Mario down to be like 16 by 32? That might actually make more sense. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I did the wrong one. Alright, it still seemed to be okay. Oh, don't cut him in half now, guys. Let's get on up there. I think this will definitely help. Wait a minute, did I cut his feet off? Yep. Sorry, buddy. Okay. So I think if I make his little box as small as possible, that will make things a little bit easier for everybody. Okay. Come here, Mario. In the world did all of these things get moved over like this? Which is not what I wanted. Okay. Mario, you are bad at jumping, my friend. I make it 0.5 and 1. He cannot get off the ground. You just can't get going. Let's see. What if I just, whoops. Come on, game. Where are you at? So let's delete these. Just so I can figure out why he can't really jump. And then we'll go back and add onto it. Low gravity and 15 jump speed. Oh, that'll do it. Whoops. Let's reload that. That was gnarly. Let's see. Let's see, there's something I messed up here. Maybe I need to lower this gravity just a little bit in the room. Make this a 0. The struggle. He's trying so hard. I don't want to jump that much. That's a bit too much, Mario. Just a bit. What about 12? That's still too much. Still too much. Let's try 7. Maybe? is interesting. It's like there's a cutoff that's going on here, where the jump speed has to be a certain amount to break through the barrier or whatever that might be. Like, even if I make it 12, it's just going to be very strange. Yeah. What is that? And yet, if I make it 11... Come on, Mario. Gosh, that's really close. Really close. Very close. This is VSP is less than 10. So it seems like jump speed. What if? Okay. What if I change this to be closer to 3? Okay. And then I make his... Yeah, then I make his jump speed be a little bit less. Because if I change this, instead of 10, and I make it a little bit lower, the game might be more willing to accept it. Let's see. One would think, but maybe not. Let's try turning the room physics off again. It may need them though. I think it does. It does need them. Down. Create. Let's make it 8. Oh, let's say 7. Okay. Let's reload it. Oh, Mario, you do not want to jump right, do you? Move speed need to be faster, maybe? Something I'm forgetting. What could it be? Ah, wait a minute. Could this be the problem? be his little collision shape in the physics realm? I wonder. Alright, let's go back and look at Rainbow Islands again. I want to see if there's anything different here. Okay. So in this room, physics are not enabled at all. He starts awake. Applying it to himself. He's applying all of these to himself, actually. He's visible and not solid. The room speed is 15. Okay. Room's a lot bigger. That could be causing it. Let's go back. What else it could be? Was it something to do with the sprites? Middle center on both of them. Middle center on both. Could just have too much code in it, now that I think about it. Like, that should be middle center on Mario. And we should have no physics enabled on this room. No physics. Could be something with these, with it changing sprites. So I'm thinking we should just leave it as SPR Mario for all of them for now and see if that changes anything. Okay. So he jumps pretty high right now. So maybe if I turn the gravity down to about half. Let's look. Yeah, that seems to allow him to jump. That lets him jump as expected. Yeah, sometimes it's very easy to overcomplicate things. That should be enough to jump a barrel. Okay. So if we have Mario, who's actually able to jump, let's put some of these platforms here. Well, we want them to snap. Let's put some of these platforms in here and see how he handles them in the room. Not well at all. So he needs a little bit more room. So that means realistically we don't want to snap these. We're gonna have to give this a little bit more tolerance. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's not a problem at all. Not a problem. Especially now that Mario can move correctly. That's really the tricky part. You're just getting him to jump the way that you want to. It's actually backwards. Whoops. Open, 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 open. This one needs to be closed. Okay, that one doesn't work. So now we need it to be if Mario, let's say if Mario is colliding with a ladder. Actually, okay, so key press, he pushes W, we can say if the ladder is right at Mario, then move up. And say do that slowly. Now we actually probably want to put that in here. But there's gravity in this world. That might not work. We'll try it though. We'll see what this looks like again. Let's see. This one will be a little trickier. I'm trying to say... Huh. I'll have to think about this one. It's a little tricky trying to think of the best way to make him be able to go up those ladders. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. That one, that was not an obvious solution. Okay. So Mario in level 2. Let's just see how he would deal with this out of curiosity. I'm gonna put level 2 up at the top here. Probably a little tricky to control. Oh. He fell right through it. Oops. So I need to put in some room boundaries as well. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I think I got another 20-25 minutes in me tonight. What I'll try to knock out is this level 3 code. So in here, I want it to be, well, let's get Mario situated here. I want it to be if this collides with Mario, then I want the image index to equal 2. Alrighty. Just gotta make sure it collides with him. I guess that can't be nothing. It's the collision mask on this. Oh, maybe it can be nothing. I think I just need to have it a little bit up. Off, yeah. It can't be completely submerged like that. Okay. Okay. Maybe it does need to have animation speed. Might. I need it to trigger it permanently. say if it collides with Mario, destroy. Destroy and create an instance of it. Same exact spot. Alright, friends. I was up all night last night. And clearly my brain has had enough. I was hoping to have a fully fledged game in one evening like I've been doing, but reality is the more you learn, the more you work on, the longer it's going to take you. Like this music playing in the background, fitting. But what I might have to start doing is doing like one game a week as opposed to every day. But we will see what happens. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far. We've got a nice little title screen. You got level 1 built out, level 2 with moving platform, and level 3 with a little idea I had to make it where if you step on each of the little buttons, turn them all green, then that'll cause the platform to collapse and thus let you beat the game. I don't have anything set up for score or anything like that, even though I do have objects. But yeah. So good work. Hopefully if any of you watch this after I sign off in the coming days or weeks, you're able to learn a thing or two from it, and you see anything that you note is brazenly ignorant and idiotic on my part, also please feel free to let me know, and I'll try to rectify that in future endeavors. But with that being said, have a good night. Thanks for watching.